Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. I got for Christmas pretty amazing pastel pencils. I have a lot of experience with the white one. It's actually the one that I'm using for all my other pictures. I really love that one, so I really wanted to experiment with other colors. When I saw how they really could shine, I really wanted to do it on black paper. So I ordered that, and you already see the result building up there on the side. It is a little bit wilder than my normal pictures are. That's the nature when you're normally drawing in black and white on gray, but still. So this is a bit strange, but I am partially colorblind, so when I bring color in, I love to bring a lot of color in. I hope you enjoy the result. Let's talk a little bit about that, and we'll see each other again at the end. You've seen the thumbnail, so you know that this will not be a pure recreation as I normally do, although black and white of course, but still it is very faithful to the original, usually what I do. In this case it is not, and we will be talking about all my decisions on the way there a little bit later in this video. But let me start by telling you a little bit about my model for this time, because yes, it is a Greyhound, but it is actually not one of ours. It is the Greyhound of very good friends of ours. I drew this picture actually as the Christmas present for them. So one of the few pictures on this channel that I don't have at home anymore. But they were so nice to allow me to put this also on my channel. From time to time I draw people for presents, of course. If you can draw pictures, why not use it? Also personally. But I don't put those people, if they are real people that are not famous people, I don't put those pictures here on the channel. Especially when I'm drawing kids, I will probably never put anyone's kids on here, only if they would beg me to, but I don't think that will happen. In the case of a pet, like here, Tai, I think it's a different thing, so they were very open about letting me put him here on the channel. He's actually a little bit older than our boy, so Tai is approaching 9. For a Greyhound that is already pretty old, so they can become kind of between 10 and 12 years old. Only a few are really older than that, so he is already a little old man, or a big old man in that regard. And he's just such a cutie. He is really such a nice dog. He is so good with our dogs. They love each other. I was actually, when they visited last, I was a little bit afraid that because they hadn't seen each other for a long time. I was actually expecting almost that they would first react a little bit more strongly, but they didn't. It worked perfectly well. They recognized each other directly. They were so enthusiastic, and our girl just loves Tai, so she's always happy when he comes by. It's not necessarily a given that those dogs work so well with each other. Actually, in the past, Jesse never really reacted at all to other dogs. When we got Felicia, that started a little bit more. He started to become kind of the protector, so he can get loud by now. With Tai, it is sometimes really problematic, but it's not really Tai's fault. He has made a lot of bad experiences with some other dogs, so he can be a bit difficult. Again, not his fault. He has so much bad luck with other dogs. I don't know what it is, if he is just too nice or something, but other dogs seem sometimes to really just go for him. I think he was hurt about 3 times by now. Had bloody open wounds from other dogs, which, to be fair, with a Greyhound happens pretty fast. They have pretty thin skin, they do not have that much tissue beneath the skin, so they bleed quite fastly, but still it is not a nice thing, and actually it never really happened to us with other dogs, that our dogs got hurt, but Tai got bitten I think 3 times. And as far as I know, he never drew blood with the other dogs himself. So he was always the poor one who received it all. And one of those dogs that attacked him was actually a golden retriever. So that much about bias against certain races of dogs. But apart from stranger dogs, with humans for example, he's just so easy and such a sweet boy. He just wants to be cuddled. He always came to us when they were here. He came to me and just wanted to get his pets in and came back and back to get more and more. He's just such a sweet old gentleman. And yes, these really great ears. Strange to say, I know, but it's really very characteristic for him that he's always one ear going back on his head and one that is completely going forward. So we call it the tie ears, and it's very characteristic for him. He almost always has those, and I haven't seen it like that with any other dog, Greyhound or other breed. It's just adorable. So this is Ty, and he was the very first model that I ever drew in this style. And yes, there will definitely be more, because this is just a lot of fun to do. So what were my thought processes that landed me in this style and how I did it here? Because in hindsight, and I assure you it is in hindsight, it has a little bit of similarities with a style like Van Gogh, like Starry Nights or something like that. And it probably is inspired, but I assure you I did not think about that too much when I did it, this first picture. It was not on purpose, although definitely somehow subconsciously influenced of that, I'm sure. So what I wanted to do was to go in with a lot of color, very strong colors, because these pencils are just really great in strong colors. So that was one of the motivations. The other was, okay, how can I make those strong colors and come up with an interesting picture? I could have just gone overboard with the intensity of the colors, but stay close to the real world colors. But for some reason that was quite early for me, a thought that I had and something I really want to try out, to just use wild colors. Not the actual colors, but just different colors. But if you just go wild with the colors and completely change them, I felt like I needed to have some rules to do that, so that you still visually recognize it as a cohesive, complete picture, and you still understand what it is and that there is light and shadow and depth to it. And that still things like, for example, the eyes or the ears register as eyes and ears, although there is nothing grounded in reality conforming to the colors. And if you look at it, you actually see that that is where I have broken with my approach. I have actually used brown for the eyes, which is Ty's eye color, really in this moment to really make sure that you understand, okay, those are the eyes, and there is something in this picture that is grounding the complete thing in reality. The same with the white lines actually, so there is a little bit more of those highlight white lines, the lightest parts of the picture, which are also in the original quite white, so very close to the brightest parts of the pictures. I kept them white to also get there a little bit of boundaries, understandable boundaries, and grounding this somewhat in the real color world. But after that, I run a little bit wild, at least in color, not in brightness. So that is the other thing that I kept a little bit more closely to reality. So I went from the lighter colors like yellow and orange, red, over the green tones down to the blue tones, and the dark blue is the darkest one that I have. So there is a rule in getting darker, drawing the light fur in comparison to the dark fur. So we go from the brightest white and yellow down to the two blue tones to the darkest, and then obviously also down to the black where there's nothing on the paper. With these couple of rules, I think actually it works pretty well. In the end, I actually added a little bit of really just a smidge of a lighter color, of a warmer color. So I took a bit of pink and put a couple of lines in there. I actually don't even see that pink very well, but I wanted to bring in a little bit, a touch of warmth, because most of the colors I used were pretty cold, but I did not want to overdo it, because all in all I think it worked pretty well as it was. So I'm not too sure if I added anything actually with the pink. But you tell me, do you think it was a good decision, a bad decision, or wouldn't you have even noticed it if I didn't tell you? And that is my very first finished pastel picture. I am very happy with it, actually. You could argue that it is quite cold, not a lot of reds or other colors like that, no warm colors in there. I like how it looks, I like how it works, so I'm happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and you look forward to see a couple of more of those, because I want to draw my own pets next, make a series out of it, and actually hang those then. It will be the first pictures I drew that will be hanged in this house. So wish me luck, and I hope I'll see you for the next video. But until then, have the greatest of days, and goodbye.